I'm here with.
Jeb.
How old are you and what do you do for a living?
I'm 29 year old and I work for the federal government and also work in the restaurant as well.
So, what were you taught about money growing up and who taught you?
I'm from Sri Lanka, so I came as an international student in Canada back in 2016. For me, anything about money, I learned from my mom and dad. And back home, like my mom and dad used to work, and it kind of minimize expenses, depends on their income. So, my mom tell me that like saving money is like when you go to grocery shopping and give me a balance like to buy something. So, my mom always told me that okay, when you go buy the stuff, and bring me the change. So if it's like $100 and if I spend like 50 or 60, I always make sure I give the 40. Spending wise, I have to make sure like I keep the money, don't overspend other than what you need it. Compared to that, even when I went to school, in school they normally teach you how to save money. I think like in the high school they don't teach you about like regarding investing stuff. Most likely that they say okay, don't spend too much, always budget, but not in detail. It's back home, yeah. Back home.
They tell you to stuff in school?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
We don't have that here.
Yeah, they do. But it depends on their lifestyle, right? Like back home and here in Canada is different, right? Most people they all have our own house, but the thing is like spending wise, like we have a huge family, like it's a big family, it's extended family. So since we have a big family, so we always make sure that we don't overspend it.
In your opinion, do you have to own the house that you live in to build wealth?
I can relate back to my back home story, I guess. So in back home, we do own a house. That house is located in the village. So we live in the city, in Colombo. So in Colombo, we rent the house, like a apartment. So we pay like a monthly expenses from that.
You're renting out the house in the village or no?
We own it, yeah. We own it, and it's sometimes it's occupied. Depends, like the tenants they come and leave.
Also, there are tenants paying rent there.
Yeah, they pay rent, yeah. But since my father invested on the land over there, so we have something building over there, right? But I would say that like even a city, like if you pay rent like a certain amount, you could have like put in the money in property and grow it equity in a long run, right? If you do have like a money to invest something, I would say like put in like a properties in at least a land. Even you can buy a property. At least if you have like a vacant land, you can invest it because land appreciates every year, right?
So, I guess what you're saying is kind of you can rent where you live and own an investment property is what you're saying, right? What do you think is the biggest reason why people struggle to save money?
That's a good question though. The biggest thing is that, like I said, like each people have a different stories.
Yeah.
For me, I did my high school back home and I came as an international student. For me, saving money is very important because I am by myself. My family is back home. So I have to survive on my own. Basically, I have to cover my side expenses, right?
Yeah.
And even like if you're an international student, so you have like expenses regarding your education, tuition books, and everything. But the thing is that even like from your back home or your family got a loan for you, right, to study everything. So you're also responsible, like you pay back because it's not like they expect you to pay it, but you're obligated, like because they get it for you because of you. So for me, like my uncle sponsored, like because my mom's brother, he's in France, so he sponsors the tuition fee. So in that term, I was lucky because my uncle paying for it because my family is kind of not well enough to pay my tuition fees in terms of Canadian dollars. But the thing is that even like I was here, I was trying to save money, a portion of it, like it's showing that okay, I'm also taking responsible. I normally try to save like $1,000 for my tuition fees, so because normally you have like what each semester is 4 months, right?
Yeah.
So when I was full time working in a break, I always try to save $1,000 per month and have at least like a portion chunk because back in the days I was paying like in college was $9,000 per semester, and when I was in university it was like $12,000. I think it's like saving money wise like depends how the people because also have sent money back home. For when I was in school, it's really I haven't had the chance to save money for myself. Everything I have to pay something for mom because I think my mom kind of pawned her own jewelry to get the ticket and stuff. So I have to pay back to get them
so that they can get the jewelry back.
The jewelry back. So
as an international student, when did you learn what a credit score was, and why do you think it's so important to have a good credit score?
I didn't even knew what credit score was because back home we don't use credit cards, right? So I didn't have the chance to use a credit card because I have
credit cards.
Yeah, we do have credit cards. Yeah, we do have credits. But when I came here, I was 21 years old. When I came here, I noticed people that when people like would go in school, they ended up doing part time something like school, like make it up hours, like work experience. But in back home, we don't have that. Like naturally, like we always go to school, study after class, study. Like study. Even like you go to university because people in back home, our mentality is that like we need to study, like get the degree and make sure, and like for once you graduate, and maybe you look for jobs. So we don't do like a part-time job, side hustle job. We don't do that because our parents like look after, they pay our stuff. So we do like no expenses. We do house shows. Even like if we ended up buying stuff, our parents cover it. We don't have money, so if you want to go to movie, ask your mom, get the money, and that's it. And I make sure I give her back the balance. So in terms of credit card, like I would say, like when you came to Canada, the first roadblock I would say, because when you get a bank account, so they give you a debit card, everything. Depends on the bank to bank. For me, the bank event didn't give me a credit card in the first place. Was it TD? I would say, TD Bank. The thing is, like, I don't know, based on the policy they have, in order to get a credit card, they ask you like a pre-deposit money. Like it's like a pay credit, like debit card, like prepaid. Yeah, something like collateral.
Because they think you're gonna go back.
Something like assurance, like you're paying it, something that you can like get my money back, because we don't have any ties here. Like we're brand new, we don't know. When I get a bank account, so I have like a limit, like a 25 transaction limit. One thing is I can use a 25 transaction using my debit card. So once you pass 25, then it's like a $1 charge for each transaction.
But credit card is
so unlimited. You can I
so
think
they get you.
I don't want to like withdraw money. Even withdraw money is like a one transaction. So like, and I don't want to keep cash. Like I don't have cash, right? So the thing is, like, I like to swipe my debit card, but since it's a 25 limit transaction, like it's not like you buy grocery each time. You have other bills too, phone bills, other stuff. So the 25 transaction for me was not enough, so I had to get a credit card. So I don't know, it's credit score. That's why it came up, credit score stuff. Cousins like live in extended families. They told me, okay, you have to get a credit card and build your score.
Your cousin told you about it.
Credit score, and I also did some research, and my friends in school, they told me that for prepaid for a 500 limit, you have to put 500. So I thought okay. Then I asked her, like, okay, even if I do like build my credit score, is there a chance to increase my limit after that? They said yes, but in order to increase the limit, if you have a limit 500 and you want to increase to 1,000, then increase to 1,000. You have to put another 500 because it's like a secure credit card. Because of my work permit, like my study permit at the time, so it's not like an assurance for them, right? So I have a credit card, it's fine. That's like 500. So okay for me. So I use that credit card. So I spend a lot and increase my score. Once I increase my score, making sure make my payments every month, not over the 30 days each transaction. My credit score went up because at the beginning I don't have a credit score. I don't know that, right? So I was kind of behind paying my phone bills. So I gave my money to a cousin. She paid the account, but it's always late payments. I don't know like what time is it. So my credit score kind of dented a little bit. But then I noticed it when I opened the app. Late payments and there was my score was around between 650 to 700. But I got the credit card, I'm using it, paying it, so my credit was up. But the thing is, based on spending, it's not high enough, right? What I did, like, okay, so I increase it based on this spending habit. I get more credit card, one more, like I got like another credit card. So with the limit increase, so based on that, I was able to increase my score. Based on the credit score, they know how you spend your money. They want to see like how you can pay back.
My follow-up question is: so you got the credit card. Did you know that you should pay off the whole balance right away? Obviously, it's not the same as a real credit card, right? So you already have the money is already in there. Did you know to pay off the whole balance, or the statement, it shows minimum payment, make minimum payment and the interest? Did you understand all that? Did your cousin explain that to you, or did you research yourself to figure out, okay, interest is bad, you don't want to pay interest, and you should pay off the full balance when you use it? Did you know that, or your cousin explained it to you?
I would say my cousin told me that too, but I also did my own research, like minimum payment stuff. For me, even I have a credit card, I will always make sure that if I have a money in account 200, only spend 200. I don't want to overspend it and leaving there pay interest.
Especially because you're sending money back
home and stuff. Because
you can't afford the risk.
Kind of a risk. Every time make sure that like okay, if I have $200, even I have limit 500, I don't overspend because I have the only 200. Normally people say that like you don't spend over 30% of the credit limit. If you're overspending, that means you're a higher risk. It will impact your credit score. Utilization. So you have to make sure that below 30% draw your score. If you go over, then it's gonna just. And also one point, don't open a lot of credit cards. I learned about it. So because I thought like having credit cards more, then I heard about okay, if you're too much, that's also a risk. So I thought about okay, I should close it. My friends told me, oh, don't close it because that also gonna dent your score. So putting it in a drawer, keep there. They ended up closing it over there. So I've ended up closing one account, but I have like 2 credit cards.
Where did you learn the most about personal finance since you came to Canada? How did you learn it? And what's one piece of information that you said has impacted you the most?
I know like back home they teach you about like budgeting stuff, but that thing helped me when I came here because you have to make sure you have a money, you're spending, you're saving. I don't do like pre-budgeting, like I do post-budgeting. I have a balance. Every month I spend, I have a spreadsheet, I put everything. End of the month, how much I spend. For example, I have it categorized: food, entertainment, tuition. So I know, okay, how much I spend too much. For example, like if I go to Tim Hortons, like I would go every day to Tim Hortons, get my coffee stuff. So I say, okay, oh, I spend like $600 at Tim Hortons. Oh damn. So you never know, because you pay $2, $5, $10 every day, accumulates. Post budgeting kind of help you out. Okay, spending too much on that, and you can have to cut back. Make sure you have a budget, I would say. So it helps you track your expenses and can see, okay, most people complain, oh, I have earned money and the money end of the month goes away. They don't know where they spend money. So if you do track it, for my expenses budgeting, I have every single penny, I know where it goes.
Can you tell us the biggest money mistake that you ever made?
So far, I haven't, but the only thing I would say, from my personal experience, I would say, you can't lend money. Like if you have like friends, anyone, you lend money, but make sure if you lend the money, you make sure you get the money back. If you know that type of person, like, okay, if you give money and he tells you, oh, I'm gonna give you back in 2 weeks, like timeline. Like if he tells you, I promise you, if you can get it back, that's fine. Because for me, if you do lend money, also think about yourself. You do have some unexpected events gonna happen. You already lent the money. You know the money is out already. You can't ask them back, because even you ask them, like they ask you more time. So make sure, like stress. Yeah, I had like first experience lending money and getting the money back. It took me longer than expected. So it's a lesson. Yeah, but I do help out. So I'm not saying like because I don't lend money. I lend money. I know that the money comes back. Even ask them, they're gonna give me back. It's the only thing I'm concerned. But that's the biggest mistake I was made at the time. But other than that, I haven't lost money so far.
What would you say is the best thing that you've done with your money so far?
Since I'm working full time right now, I'm trying to like invest money right now in stock market and also some tax reductions accounts. So I get like a tax reduction on it. Invest money means like I'm saving for my retirement, right? Because you're young, you're working 2 jobs, so you can put more money on it. The best thing I would say, investing right now.
How much do you save and how much do you invest on a monthly basis?
Saving, I would say, based on the total income I earn per month income, I normally have like 20%. 20%, yeah.
Like look, and investing
combined, yeah. So it looks like a high, but since I have like 2 jobs, I have so money, because the first jobs kind of cover you the basic expense, everything. The second job is kind of like a surplus. You are like investing money. So I use that money to put like in the emergency funds or savings, and also investing on those. So it's like roughly 20%. But I don't go 20 because you have expenses.
How much do you know about the stock market? What is the biggest barrier to investing in the stock market?
Like you mentioned, I heard it in school too. In back home school, where we have like a finance classes. So they do teach about like Colombo stock exchange market stuff. But thing is that you learn about it, but you don't pay attention because you're not investing at the moment. You learn about, okay, this stuff. Yeah, it sounds complicated. Okay, this is stocks. You get like dividends, blah blah blah. So when I came to Canada, I learned about stock market, like taking finance courses in my minor. Once you're working full time, even I know stock market is there. Kind of had a hesitant to invest, because stock market is like a volatile. Like you never know. Like you put money, it goes up and down. When I used to have was renting out with some my roommate. They talk about there's a big crash in stock market, they lost money. Okay, I thought about, okay, it's like it's a high risk putting money. Instead you can put like in this GIC, guaranteed in return. Yeah, if you like a guarantee, you not expect too much, you're getting a minimum return. Well, luckily, like you mentioned, like I started like investing in stock market this year. I was trying to do a pandemic in 2020, and still I was kind of hesitant. Like
good that you didn't do it in the
pandemic. I was hesitant, and I know there was like apps like a Wealthsimple, cost trade. But my friends asked me to open up because they reference, they get the money. But since I'm like kind of have more spare time, so I start doing it. Okay, I had to take a leap of faith. Okay, so just put one money and see how it goes. So I guess it's a good step. I took it. I'm happy that I'm starting investing right now, because I have like a few shares in some of the FFB and the TD stocks here, but they're growing up and down. That's still volatile on that. But the thing is that every month I try to put money, because for the long growth, right? I would say like So I say like a stock market, I was starting this year. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Do you have a TFSA, RRSP, and FHSA? When did you open them up, and how did you hear about them?
So for TFSA, RRSP, learn about like when I was in school. They teach you about the tax, right? Like TFSA is like, it's not like a tax deduction, but what are the investment make in the TFSA is tax free, and you can withdraw it tax free. For RRSP,
this is finance plus.
Finance tax classes, yeah. Combined, you can say. For RRSP, you invest, when you put money in the RRSP, you get a deduction. But the thing is, when you withdraw, tax on it. If you have money you invest, you can open up. For me, it was like have like expenses in the obligation. So
savings, cash savings
first, and pay it off. I was starting them for the investment on those one last year. Yeah, because my coworker said, okay, you should invest something for yourself, because the long run you have to take care of yourself. I know you're doing for your family stuff. You have to take care of yourself, right? Like end of the day. So I would start doing invest in TFSA and do RRSP. I use that one like for tax reductions because it's retirement, right? And also for the FHSA, the first home savings plan. The longer I have a plan to buy a house, so even like if you put an FHSA account, it's also like a tax reduction because I guess I say every year it's like a 8,000 limit, a maximum for 40,000. So I have money on that, so I put that 8,000 on that, so I get able to deduct on my tax return in the next year. Kind of help you out. Okay, you have money in there, you don't touch it. Because you can only touch it when you buy a house. Those kind of like it's like a limit. You can touch it. Even if you have need the money, you can't touch it. If you take it out, unless it's not for your first home, you tax on it. I'm starting from last year. So far, I make sure every month I pay for RRSP, TFSA. The end of the year, before February, end of the 31st, I make sure I put money on the FHSA. So I'm able to get deduction from my tax year.
This is a thing that a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people just on the internet, they just mention TFSA, open RRSP, open FHSA, buy a house. They don't tell you what to put the money inside, what to buy with the money inside of those accounts, right? What investment did you purchase in your TFSA? What did you purchase in your RRSP? Putting the money in the account doesn't grow, right? You have to do something with it. And what did you purchase in the FHSA?
So for TFSA RRSP, I'm not a self-directed person, like a monitor. So I went to my agent, I would say. She's like from insurance. So she's gonna put those money on the segregated funds. So it's kind of like a mutual funds. Like, but I heard about it. Segregated funds is not good, but compared to the mutual funds,
that was when you did limited knowledge.
The knowledge, yeah. So I believe her, but so far it's doing good so far. I invest on those ones for RSPs as well. For HSA, so when with the bank time, because for me it's not like a long run. I want to buy a house. I can expect any time I want to buy a house. I want to have the money like for tax deduction and get the benefit, volatility. Yeah, that's why I went to GICs 1 year for 4 or 5% on that. So I know a minimum, but I don't want to go up and down. I don't want to lose money when you buy a house. Guaranteed return. For TFSA, it's not like you should only have one account, you multiple on, but you have to make sure you're contributing on that contribution room. Contribution room. So for TFSA, since I have Wealthsimple, so I do self-directed investment on stock market. This is where your budgeting come also. So when you do budgeting, you can also track how much I put the TFSA, RSP. So the TFSA each account. So TFSA end of the year, you can check. You can filter it and see from January to up to until now. So you know how much I spent. I put money in TFSA. So you can check how much I contributed, and you make sure you don't over contribute it. You're going to be penalized.
Do you have an emergency fund? How do you determine how big of an emergency fund that you keep, if you have one?
I would say like 2 months worth of, yes, for now, but yeah, minimum 2 months, but you can have more. You know, no one gonna happen, right? For example, for pandemic, no one expected like to be like layoffs and you have to be restricted in your house. That time I don't have an emergency fund. That time I was like kind of struggling. If you do have like a 2 months like worth of saving, like a minimum, you can survive. Like at the time you can get a job and you can grow your emergency fund back.
What is your financial goal? And how do you plan on achieving it?
For me, the financial goal is that I won't really invest money because having the money in the bank account sitting is nothing. So I want to invest in money like in stock market, especially real estate. It's not like you put money and next day it's going up. It's like it takes time. I appreciate it. Like 2 or 3 years, but it's something that's like your equity is growing. Every year, equity ownership is growing. Yeah, you can like rent it out. You can make money on the property, right? Like I don't want to say like you should have like 10 properties to manage. At least like 1 or 2, like at least one, like something an investment you have it and grow it, so you can like make money of it. And end of the day, if you want to buy more, you can remortgage or you can sell it and you have invest more. So I want like grow money like that. And also in the stock market, you put more money and make your portfolio bigger. End of the day, when you retire, you have money. For me, I want to go around the world and see more places. I don't want to be stuck in one place, right? You want to grow your money, have money sitting, and then you want to spend it. End of the year, like, you don't take the money with you. So I would say, yeah.